Welcome to my 2017 Minecraft world. This world was started in 2017 and I have played on it pretty daily since. It was started on my iPhone 6 and is now played with both my brothers as well as my girlfriend. Before I get into Spawn, this is Spawn. I want to mention the starter base that I made before one of my brothers got on to play. It's a little igloo village. I'm not sure. I don't remember why I went with igloos. I think just because it's snow igloos. You can figure it out. I just made two simple igloos for me, and at the time my middle brother, he was the only one that played on here with me. It wasn't until later that my other brother actually joined, and way longer until my girlfriend actually hopped on. I believe this one right here was my igloo just because of these signs. I think he put this sign and then I put that one. I was only 12, maybe 13 when I made this world. He was like 7 or 8. So a lot of time has passed. I'm 20 years old now. But besides these like two personal igloos, I also made this bigger igloo right here. This is supposed to be like a wheat farm. It never took off. It's not even finished. I also later on added this canopy right here, and I also built this fire pit way later. Just kind of something to add to the whole igloo aesthetic. I also added a third igloo up here for my third brother, my little brother, when he joined, but because of word corruption and glitches, it actually got cut off right here. There used to be a snow golem here, and it's all gone. Over here is a fourth igloo. This one is a lot different. Its only purpose is to store snow. I have a lot of snow from clearing out his house over here, so I just ran over here and threw it all inside that igloo. These structures over here, I wanted to make like a little mini game, and like a snowball fighting game. And so you would run over here, you would collect your snowballs from these two snow golems. There's only one left, and then run back to your forts and try and fight the other player. There used to be, or I may have never built it, I don't really remember. It's been a while since I've been over here. Another fort that way, but I don't think I got around to building it. After my middle brother got on, he kind of went his own way and built his base right here, and it's pretty much untouched even today. His original idea for it, he wanted to build it as tall as possible. He wanted to just keep adding floors and kind of make it into like a skyscraper. And I kind of intervened, and I thought it would look ugly, so I told him to cap it at what it was. I kind of regret doing that, but that's just how I was. He also tried to build a netherrack maze over here, and obviously that was an awful idea. So I made him get rid of it. This treehouse right here, he also built. He was really proud of this. I think it looks really cute. This over here I built. It's just something to kind of surround the nether portal. We'll get to the nether later. There's just a lot to show in the nether. Up here, this was a Christmas gift. Me and my brothers have a standing tradition where every Christmas we give each other Christmas gifts. And for 2020, I decided to build him like a little bear statue. He's obsessed with bears. His Minecraft skin used to be a bear. Mine actually used to be a cat. That's why his name is Spy Bear. Like I said, he was only like 7 or 8 when he came up with that name. Over here, this is his horse stalls. He's redone these. He moved them underground, and we'll get to that later. But this is his house. I'm not really going to go too much into detail with it. It's his house. He recently built that. It's a bridge to get over the river. He has some pins right here. And like I said, that's his tree house. I built this for him. One Christmas, I replicated his skin and I put it in front of his house. And he got rid of it and put it right here. This is what his skin used to look like, in case you were curious. It's a very just simple bear skin. This is Fred. We don't talk about Fred. Hi, Fred. But down here, this is where he keeps his horses now. I'm not sure why he decided to move them on the ground, but I try not to question what he does because he doesn't really play that much. So when he does play and when he does build stuff, I kind of just let him do his own thing. Like I said, I'm not going to go too much into detail with his actual house. It's his house. Going back to spawn, we have this really grand kind of like medieval wall. This was actually part of probably the most failed project in this world. I wanted to build a wall surrounding the entire Mega Taiga, and it never took off. This like cobblestone line goes all the way to the plains biome, which we'll get to. That's where the sewer comes out. We'll get to that as well. There's a lot of builds to go over. Going beyond the wall, we have the spawn village, or Taiga village, whatever you want to call it. Beyond the wall, we have a couple different builds. We have the spawn cabin. It's just a quaint little cabin. Nice fireplace, place to sleep. This is a really old library. It used to extend like out to here, but it's since been redone. I was really obsessed with like making shops around a certain point, and I wanted to build a bunch of shops here. That way me and my brothers could trade with one another and sell stuff, but it never really took off. This is just a random storage lean-to. Over here, you can kind of see another shop. This one was for my brother to sell cakes. It's just a bunch of barrels filled with cakes and flowers for some reason. Going down the path and then taking a detour this way. This is part of the wall. It's a newer edition. It's not too new, but it's not finished. This is another trend with this world. There's a lot of unfinished projects. But just a random tower. Out here in the lake, you can see there's like a Viking boat. My brother used to love fishing, so I built him like a little fishing boat and he would go there and fish. This is a 1-year monument. I'm pretty sure I pulled this off of Google. It's not my design, but I built this to dedicate 1 year inside this world. Back then, I thought that was such a long time. Heading back toward the path, we see the newest addition to the Taiga village, and that is the train station. This takes you to the bigger train station in the plains biome. Again, we'll get to that. If you continue down this path, you run into a really ugly tree. I have a thing with nostalgia. If something's been there for a very long time, I just can't bring myself to change it or get rid of it. That's why this tree is so awkward looking. I meant to redesign it, but haven't got around to doing that. That's just a random watchtower. Here's some signs that take you to certain areas in my world. For instance, that path takes you to the lake we were just at, and this takes you to my house. Before we get to my house though, you encounter this. This is the Christmas tree. Like I said, me and my brothers have a standing tradition where we give each other Christmas gifts, and this is where I go and put them all. This tree gets decorated with like a star and some ornaments and a ribbon and all that. Every year it gets decorated. But this deep slate, it connects to kind of like a standing road network I have throughout my world. In certain areas, I put down this. It's not everywhere, but this right here connects to that road network, and I'll show you where it actually heads to. But let's keep going on this path. This entire area is flat, and that's because I used to have a build here, and I hated it. It was too big, so I got rid of it, and instead kept it open. And then when I was messing around with some custom trees, I just put some custom trees here. This path right here takes you all the way to a cherry grove, which is where my girlfriend's at. It's a very long path. It's the longest path I have ever made, and it's the longest path in this world. That takes you down to the sewers. This is a fallen tree log, and if you go through it, you encounter my base. So this is my house. This is the front doors to everything. I'm gonna go, the way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna do each floor. Each section gets a different floor. This main section, I'm gonna go start from floor 1 and go all the way up. These two dogs right here are really OG. In fact, a Daisy is the first dog I tamed in this world, and I believe she's the first dog like ever in this world, which is crazy. Benji, I don't really remember when I got Benji, but I know Benji's an OG, so Benji gets a spot right there. Coming over here, this is my OG chest room. It's chest room V1. Nothing in here, but I used this up until 2022. This is the balcony right here. Like I said, I have a thing for nostalgia. That's why there's so much litter out here, like just random blocks and a chest full of stuff. This is Peppa. I used to have a pig that I would ride, and she got shot by a skeleton, so I put her remains in here. My intent was to build a cemetery, and I haven't built that yet. Probably never will. Coming this way, we have Sky Bridge that takes you over there. We'll get to that. Wrapping around, we have a really big map wall. It's not too big, but it has a lot of the main builds in my world, like my base, my castle, the museum, my brother's house, all the stuff in the plains. This central like pillar right here, my original intent was to have a bunch of levers and switches in here that could control like the front door or like push up pistons to block the windows, but that never happened. So instead, I just have this like pillar that goes all the way up, almost to the topmost floor. Going down is a underground base that's very nature themed. Got a nice little river that runs through here. Got some plants. Got a nice little like alcove right there with a fish. And it just wraps around. It takes you out to the river right there. It wraps around to out here. I recently redid this area. The ground used to be at that level, and it used to extend all the way to here. It took a lot out of me, or in me, to redesign this, just because it was like that for so long. And I finally decided, you know what, change is good. I'm gonna redesign it. So I did, and I'm really glad I did. This takes you up to the skeleton tunnels, as well as the library. We're not there yet, but we'll get there. This takes you up to the alchemy tower. Going back down into this underground base. We can go over here, and then down here. This is my basement. This takes you to the mansion, which is over there. This takes you to a room in my house. The underground base, might I add, called the cozy room. This takes you just up here. This takes you up. This actually connects to my OG chest room, right here. But there's more to my basement than just that. There's a random door right here. There's nothing in here. But if you go this way, this connects to my super smelter. This is where I go to smelt my ore. This goes to the skeleton tunnels. It also goes to my mine, and I believe it also connects, yeah, it connects to my hobbit holes up here. If you go down here, this connects to my vault. When I finish smelting ores like iron or gold, I bring them down here, either throw them in barrels or turn them into blocks, and just litter this place with my ore. If you go through this piston door, you enter a unfinished project. Not sure what I wanted this to be back in the day, but now it's kind of like an abandoned castle. Kind of got the remnants of it right here. Got some fallen pillars. This is where that track that's in my basement it leads into, and it keeps going that way. It takes it left, and it takes you that way to a room in my underground base. If you follow this carpet through here, you get into the sewers, and if you go up here, that's my underground base, which we'll get to that after the house is done. Going back upstairs up to the first floor, I believe we can now move on to the second floor of this part of the house, which is my bedroom. This is where I keep my bedroom. This is where I sleep. Got a ender chest, got some decorations, some really old maps, random items, and a really old things to do book. This just connects to the central pillar. Got a balcony that overlooks this balcony, and it just wraps around. Got a pantry for this kitchen right here. This is where I keep all my food and my records for some reason. Got a jukebox right here to play some records, and a balcony right here that overlooks the outside world. But it just wraps around here, takes you back down to this level. Moving on to the third floor, right here we have my chest room V2, and it's the one I use today. I built this at the start of 12th grade, and it's the chest room I use the most, and I kind of want to build a version 3 somewhere, but this thing holds a lot, especially because I utilize shulker boxes. When the chest gets full, add a shulker box. Works really well with things like dirt and stone. Got another balcony. I really love my balconies. But this takes you out here to this nice green area. Also takes you to that half of the base, and it also takes you to another sky bridge that takes you to the same part of the base as that sky bridge does. There's Squid. Say hi, Squid. But if we continue, we come up to another unfinished room. This is probably going to be an attic. I'm not sure. If you go up this staircase, there's like a room in between rooms. No purpose, it's just a room in between rooms. And then up here, I recently furnished this room, and it's just nice. No purpose, but I just really love how it looks. And you come up here, this is Squid's room. This is where I plan to put Squid. It's my happy ghast. Squid can drink from right here. Coming up here, you see a completely different building style than the rest of my house. It's pale oak with, I believe, crimson wood. No, warped. And it's a very different room, but I got the inspiration for this from SpongeBob. So coming up here, also a different building style. That was loud. No idea what this room's gonna be for. Maybe also an attic. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's the main part of the house. Then we can move on to the second half of the house. There's multiple halves, but we can go through this door right here, and it takes you out to this kind of like courtyard area that's surrounded by everything. This is where I buried my first horse. Ignore the spelling, I was only like 12. But we come through here to this room in between rooms, and I have my workshop. This whole build right here used to be a library. I redesigned it to accommodate a workshop. This door takes you to the hobbit holes. And this ladder right here takes you up to the second floor, this half of the house, which just has a map wall. This is the largest map wall by scale, and there's nothing much up here. You can go through this door to connect over there. There's a nice glass floor. But besides that, you can go through this door to once again connect to the hobbit holes. You can go through to this staircase to get to the chest room. You can go out here to the balconies. I really love this view. Got some custom tiger trees. You can also go this way to get into the chest room. Or you can go this way to get to the hobbit holes. This staircase takes you up. I just realized that's unfinished. This staircase takes you here to that part of the house, or you can continue up it, and it takes you to this, another unfinished room. But if you go down this balcony right here, it takes you to the armory. I really love how this build turned out. This is just a room that has all my armor. It has all my armor, all my elytra. If I need a piece of armor, or if I need to store a piece of armor, I come here. But that's the two biggest sections. Well, two biggest sections to this side of the river completed. Now we can move on to this build right here. Like I said before, this used to be my library. I wanted a bigger library, and so I built this structure right here, separate from the actual house. And inside here, there's just a bunch of books. They're all organized, all cataloged inside a book and quill that's upstairs. But there's a level 30 enchant setup right here. And you can come up to a second floor to access higher level books. This book has 5 enchants. This book has 2 enchants. There's more stuff over here that's not finished. But if you come up here, you can go out here. This is just an exit. There's also a entrance / exit right here. That's at a different level, but I mean, it takes you here. I didn't mean to do that. And if you go up this staircase and then this staircase, it takes you to where I keep the library book. This is just a book that has all the enchants in it. I kind of want to redo the system because it's very cluttered. If you go up this ladder right here, this takes you to the alchemy tower. We'll get to that in 1 second. There's just one more thing to the library I want to show. I didn't like how the library and the alchemy tower wasn't connected to my actual house. So to fix that, I added a basement to the library over here. So if you go down these stairs right here, it takes you to an underground bit of the library. And if you go down this hallway, this connects to the hobbit holes. As you can see, this door right here connects to the workshop. But if you go through this door right here, it's my hobbit hole. And I was experimenting with a different building style for this. It used to be all wood, but it was just too repetitive. So I was experimenting with some terracotta, and I really like how it turned out. You can go through these doors right here, and it takes you to the basement with the super smelter. Or you can also go out this door to take you to the outside world. You can go up this staircase right here, and it takes you to a second floor of the hobbit holes. Another door that takes you to the outside, and you can also go up to the armory by going up this path right here. And it also connects to these balconies right here. You can go outside through here, or you can go through this door to get into this part of the house. Hobbit holes, they have no purpose. They're just for looks, a way to connect different areas of the house. They're just for travel. But I built the library basement so I could connect the library with the main part of the house. You could literally go from the topmost part of my house and end up in there. And I think that's just so cool. To get into the alchemy tower, you have a couple different entrances. You can go through there, you can go through the back, or you can go up this staircase right here and then go through what I consider to be the authentic entrance. But just coming up here, you can go through this door right here. This is where that staircase down below connects to. The staircase is very inefficient, but it wraps around nicely. You can actually go this way, and it takes you out to the back, and you can just walk straight, and there's actually a bridge that takes you over here, and we'll get there when we get there. But going back to the alchemy tower, we have a map that I update pretty regularly. This is where I keep my nether portal. I keep my nether portal, and I keep my brewing stand in the same build. I think it makes a lot of sense. And the enchanted setup, the enchanting room rather, is kind of like also magic, so I keep it in the same build as these two things. This alchemy tower has a long-standing history of never being complete, and it's still to this day not complete, even though I add on to it. I'm convinced it's never going to be completed. One last thing on this side of the river. If you come over here, we have the skeleton tunnels. This was a natural cave that I renovated, made it look crumbly and old, added this path right here, added some gold. This is where I used to go mining. My plan was to have a lot of these strip mines and then mine out of them, but I changed my mind, and at the start of 8th grade, I built this like kind of quarry mine right here. If you come down this ladder, it takes you all the way down to what diamond level used to be before caves and cliffs. I just have some barrels for aesthetics. I have a pillar for support. This takes you all the way into the skeleton tunnels, as well as my basement and it also goes by the hobbit holes that we were just at. But yeah, used to be diamond level, and so I have a bunch of strip mines. Nowadays though, I go straight down here, and it's just a hole that goes down to level -59, and it's just a bunch of strip mines. If you really want to go through this kind of custom tunnel, you can. It just takes you straight down to the bottom of the skeleton spawner. There's a skeleton spawner all the way up there. The water pushes skeletons down to low health, and then you can kill them using potions or a tool. There used to be a lava bucket here. I'm not sure where that bucket went, but it's not there no more. I have a water elevator right here, a bubble column. Takes you up here. You can AFK here. There's a spawner. But yeah, this is literally all the skeleton tunnels are. They're just a network of tunnels that connect with my basement, that connect with the mines, the spawner. That's all they are. Going back to the first floor of this half of the house, you can take this sky bridge right here, and it takes you over here to one of the biggest base expansions that I've done. This has multiple floors, just like all the rest of the base. The second floor has a wraparound staircase. Also has a way you can go right and a way you can go left. Also has another floor where you can go back the way you came from. You can go left and you can go right. This just connects to that second sky bridge I was talking about before. Going back down the staircase, if you choose to go left, this connects with the mansion. I'm gonna say the mansion for last, just because it's a base in itself. But this connects with the horse stalls. This is just where I keep my horses. I got some saddles. I have a potato in here for some reason. This is a really OG map. If you go right instead of left, you'll see another OG map, and this really incomplete room. This whole room right here used to be bigger, and on these item frames I used to store like really OG items or items that had sentimental value to me. I've since scrapped that idea and instead moved them all to a museum build that's all the way near spawn, kind of on a mountain. It just takes the clutter out of here. But since I did that, this whole part of the base really has no use. Its biggest use is this kind of piston door that takes you down to the underground base, and it also kind of leads you to the castle, which is over there. Going up a floor, we have my personal library. This connects with the horse stalls through this bridge right here, and also from this floor of this part of the house, it connects with this bridge right there. This is just a personal library where I keep some written books. Me and my brothers, we write books sometimes, and this is where I put the original copies. You can come out here to a balcony, or you can go on this sky bridge, and this takes you to a build that I never really go to. I'm not sure what you call these types of builds that have a bunch of plants and flowers in them, but this is what this is. It has a fully grown mega taiga tree, has a bunch of plants and flowers in it. My goal is to have one of every flower in the game in here. I'm not sure if I have enough room, but that's my goal. This bridge right here is remnants of the build that used to be over there, if you remember, closer to the start of the video. But it just goes this way, connects with that fallen log tunnel, and it also goes this way. It doesn't directly connect to the castle, but it kind of suggests you can go that way. Coming back to this build, it has a bottom floor. This is just where you can go to see this tree. There's nothing of purpose in here. If you come up here though, more of the same. This build looks really good with RTX shaders. If you come up here, this is where I aim to have all my pots and shards. Just give it some purpose, give me a reason to come here, because I don't come to this part of the base a whole lot. It's also kind of a new addition, so that may contribute to that. Going back over here to the personal library, there's another staircase you can go up. and this just takes you to a bunch of bedrooms. I have no idea what else to put in here, so there's beds. This room right here just has a chest full of random stuff. A map. There's an access door here for above the personal library, a trap door that takes you down into the personal library, and a ladder just to take you to this empty space here. The staircase just drops you down to here. Yeah, that's the most of that. Coming down here, here's the horse stalls. Have all my horses here. Have a bunch of random chests. I even have the dragon egg in here. But this is my OG wheat farm. I never use this nowadays, but water just flows down at the press of that button. Hoppers collect it, funnels into the chest. This has a connect and build to it, right over here, and it's a windmill connected to like a building, and its purpose is to store all my wheat. It's not finished, very not finished. There's really no point even coming in here. I built this build after coming back from like a 3-month hiatus of not playing Minecraft, and I'm really proud with how it turned out. It kind of got me back into playing on this world. Before we dive any deeper into the mansion, I need to bring up the underground base. This tunnel right here connects to the wheat tower, and it also connects up here. You can go up to the surface, that goes into the mansion. But if you go down here, this is the underground base. This is the cozy room I was talking about before. This is where that track connects to. You can keep going on it to get to the train station and the plains. You can go down here. Got a hidden room with an ender chest. And this goes all the way to the castle. If you come out here though, this is the bulk of the underground base. Got a map room on the floor. You can actually go down here by going through this trap door. Out here, you can actually go out. I dug this out. It's just an entrance, just exit. The main entrance to get down in there is this piston door right here. There's a skylight you can see down into the map. But if you go over here and hit one of these buttons, it opens up to these slime blocks. And that's the dedicated entrance to here. There's 2 ways you can go right here. If you go right, this takes you all the way to the plains. Underneath my train station, I have the subway that takes you there. And this takes you to where I used to keep my villagers. I will go ahead and tell you, they're all dead. They died. This takes you into the mansion. It takes you to that underground room right here that connects to the basement and the main part of my house over there. There's also a staircase that takes you up into the mansion. Not sure why I built this. Going back down into the underground base, you can see the sewers, which, if you remember, connect here with this part of my house. The sewers really have no purpose. There's only one tunnel, and this goes all the way to spawn. If you remember to the start of the video when I said there was a duct, or like a tunnel, this connects to that. It's just a cheeky way to get to spawn from my house strictly by going on the ground. But this is the underground base. I do have a kind of like a little secret staircase right here. I forget about this all the time, but this just takes you up right here to my house. This is just another way to get to this part. Got some armor stands here, and then there's this tunnel. I was gonna keep some like armor sets here, like a nether set, a mining set, a building set, or whatever, but that never took off. And instead, I just turned it into a way to get down here into the underground base. With all of those builds out of the way, I think it's a perfect time to segue into the mansion. I'm gonna do the same thing I did with my house, and we're gonna tour this from the entrance. So this is the entrance right here. There's just really tiny door with this big build, but I could love this mansion. But yeah, you come through this door, you have this like grand entrance, got a chandelier, multiple different ways you can go. There's not too much stuff this away. There's just a lot of incomplete rooms, stairways that take you up to different floors, this door that takes you to that stone slab tunnel which just takes you to the surface and takes you down to the underground base. It connects to the living room, connects to more staircases that go up to the same floor. And if you go straight, living room. I love this room, it's grand. If you go this way, this is kind of like a personal room. Got a grandfather clock. Got a hidden painting, even though these doors are closed. Don't know why they're closed, they're not supposed to be, but they are. Going in here, this is my personal office. I don't use it a whole lot, but there's these doors right here that take you outside. And then from here, you can go down here and then go there to get to the house. I have a to-do wall, a way to get up to another floor. Here's where these doors connect to. Just a little quick way to get into here. This staircase takes you to another floor, and from here it connects with the rest of the house. Here's where these two staircases kind of connect to. This room right here is just a plant room, connects to the living room. I believe there's a villager in here. Yeah, Jerry. Forgot about Jerry, but he's there. These doors right here take you down to that underground build that connects with the basement to my house, as you can see. And you can go out here to this kind of like outside area. I'm pretty sure that's it for the bottom floor of the mansion. If you pick a staircase to go up to, you'll end up on the second floor. This is kind of like a weird floor, but this connects to the wheat farm. These doors take you down to the bottom floor, and up here, another empty room. A lot of empty rooms, a lot of incomplete rooms. The left side of the mansion is, for the most part, undone. But yeah, if you follow this hallway, it takes you into a really big personal bedroom. There's a closet right here. Another way to get into the bedroom. Staircase that takes you up to an attic, which is incomplete, but it does take you out here to this balcony that I love so much. Kind of like it is a view of my whole entire base, the castle included. But going this way, you can, here's a staircase that takes you down here. If you remember, this just connects with the house. Have a map of spawn. This room in between rooms. Another downward staircase that takes you here. Remember, that's where Jerry is at. But just outside of the bedroom is my kitchen. It's really big and spacious. That's not really done. There are these two doors right here that connect with my map room. I'll save that for last. But the mansion is pretty much done. It's very incomplete. It's very big and spacious, and it's just empty inside. There's not too much to show here. It's kind of just like a really fun build that I did. It has no real purpose other than to just look pretty. I wanted a building connected to my house that had a really big map of everything, and so I built this build up here. You go up this staircase right here, and then there's just this really big map wall that has pretty much all major builds in this world. It has the whole entire Mega Taiga. It has the museum. It has my castle, my base, the plains biome, this like kind of nuclear inspired biome over here. Has my brother's island, which I may or may not include, and it has my girlfriend's house over here, which is in the cherry grove. Which, if you look closely, you can actually see that path I was talking about at the start of the video. That it goes all the way here, goes down here, up here, around there, and it connects into the Mega Taiga near spawn. If you go over here, this connects with my observatory. Really useless build, but I love space, so I wanted to build an observatory. There's no telescope or nothing in here, but it's Minecraft. You can't really build a telescope. I mean, you can, but it's just going to be for aesthetics. Some smaller builds that I have that I haven't talked about. For one is this cat face right here. I used to be obsessed with cats, and my skin was a cat, and all my armor and tools were cat themed. So when I grew out of that, I had already built this like stone face of my skin, so I just installed a piston door and put all the tools and armor in it. I'm not going to show the names just because they're really cringy, but that's what this kind of build right here is for. Beyond that, we have tower thing right here. If you come out right here and then keep going and then go into here, it's the same design. Just coming in here, you can go out there, or you can go up the spiral staircase. This is just kind of like a little watchtower of sorts. It has no real purpose, just to look cool. You can even go all the way up to the tippy top if you really wanted to. And this kind of takes you into the plains biome. There's also another way you can go. There's a down you can go from here. It's just, there's a slime block launcher, a random chest, and the track right here is the one that connects to the cozy room down in the house, and it just keeps going straight to the train station in the plains. A random door that shouldn't be here, but it is. But yeah, for the most part, that's my house. I could have missed a few things. I'm aware I haven't went over the castle, the museum, the plains, the town, the city even. I haven't went over any of that. I'm gonna save that for a part 2, just because this video is already long enough. But yeah, this is my house. This is the world I've been playing on since 2017, and more importantly, this is the house I've been building on since 2017, which I just think is crazy to me. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. If you've made it this far into the video, I really do appreciate it. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.